does your style match up with him? And what's going to happen once that bell rings?
You know what? I know that Arnold Barboza he's a great fighter. He's undefeated, and he's got great skills. I just believe my style is so unique, and my boxing IQ is second to none. And I believe that he's in for a long night. Contracts like 2 weeks ago, and I've just been watching from Ireland, watching and it's been all ran. I've seen Arnold in the press conference saying that he is willing to step in if any of the main events fall through for whatever reason. Obviously, there was a lot of talk going around that potentially Ryan Garcia won't fight because of his distractions, and I think Arnold Barboza was trying to indicate to the public and to the press that he is willing to step in if anything happens, which is fair enough on his side. But he's got a fight with Sean McComb, and I just hope he doesn't take his eyes off what he's in for.
I like that. I like that confidence, and I like that direct message.
Teddy Atlas here in Las Vegas, Nevada. You heard it from the champ himself.
Good evening, everyone. I'm your host, Richard Ortiz of The Fighter's Voice, the only voice that matters. And I like our guest today, Sean McComb, who's the co-main event on the undercard of Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia next Saturday, April 20th, who's taking on the undefeated Arnold Barboza. Ladies and gentlemen, my man right here, our guest, was born in Belfast, Northern Ireland, United Kingdom. He's coming all the way from Ireland, and he wants a strap. He wants the belt. He said it's strap season, but first of all, he has to take care of business next Saturday. Ladies and gentlemen, our guest, Mr. Sean McComb. Welcome to The Fighter's Voice, Sean.
Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure.
It's a pleasure having you on the show, and I know the time difference, but we made it happen. You're here now on the only voice that matters, The Fighter's Voice, and you're taking on the undefeated Golden Boy's own Arnold Barboza. What do you know about your opponent? How does your style match up with him? And what's going to happen once that bell rings?
You know what? I know that Arnold Barboza he's a great fighter. He's undefeated, and he's got great skills. I just believe my style is so unique, and my boxing IQ is second to none. And I believe that he's in for a long night.
What attributes do you have that's going to throw him off his game? I know you're a southpaw, and you kind of remind me a little bit of Josh Taylor when you fight inside.
Yeah, well, you know what? I'm 6 foot. I'm a 6 foot, 140-pound southpaw. There aren't very many of those in the world.
No.
And I believe that my skill set with my feet work and my hand speed can trouble any fighter in the world. And I believe that will be the difference.
You know, the last one to kind of have that size difference, and, but he fought at 147 pounds, and, that was Tommy the Hitman Hearns. And look how well his career went, and, legendary. So you still kind of got, that frame, a tall, slender, got some power, got a great jab. I watched some videos of you. You love having fun inside of that ring. Tell us about those experiences you've had, and you're always smiling and goofing for the camera. You're having a great time.
Yes, I know it is a professional. It's a professional sport, and we are professional elite athletes. But we have to remember to enjoy the journey, and I believe that when I get into my groove and into my zone, I just like to enjoy it. Smile for the camera, smile for the people, and go and enjoy it.
Growing up, was it always boxing in your life, or were you a basketball player? Did you play football? What other sports got you in tuned for your journey today?
You know what? We have Irish GAA sports back in Ireland. I've always boxed from I was 8 years old. I've played GAA. I played soccer. I played handball. I played all these Irish sports, and when I got to the age of, say, 16, 17, I realized that I had a great chance of being paid to box. So I decided to ditch all the other sports and focus on boxing.
Well, you made the right decision, and you're knocking right on the door of a title opportunity. We'll say that you're successful April 20th with a victory over Arnold Barboza. That puts you in line for a title shot. And let's move on. And I know you got Arnold Barboza right in front of you first, but if you're victorious, what champion out there would you love to share the ring with?
Well, this fight is for it's a final eliminator for Teofimo Lopez, who is the champion, the WBO champion. So of course he's a massive name, and he's a great fighter. Um, and his fighters and boxers all want to fight the best in the division. So I mean, Teofimo Lopez, Davin Haney, all these guys are they're the top of the food chain, and that's where I want to be. So any of those guys, a good win, and I'll fight any of those guys.
You know, that's the mandatory with Teofimo Lopez. But if you had your pick, anybody, anywhere from Ryan Garcia, Tank Davis, Jose Ramirez, who's another tough 140 pounder, even Josh Taylor, who's thinking of maybe stopping down at 140 if there's a unification fight once again or a rematch with Teofimo. Is that the man you have your eyes on after you take care of business with Arnold Barboza? It's Teofimo Lopez?
Yeah, yes, that's a super fight for me. I believe he's a good fighter, but I also believe he can be hot and cold. We've seen that in previous fights where he's been very good, and then he's fought Cambosis and he wasn't so good. You know, he's been hot and cold, and I believe he's a good fighter that I would like to share a ring with.
You know, Sean, how do you know that as a fighter when it's your day and when it's not? I mean, you might have had a great training camp, and if you show up and you're kind of cold in the fight, how do you make that transition to warm back up and to fight like you were born to fight? Is it tough for a fighter to make that transition?
I believe I believe personally that it's focus. You need to be fully focused on every fight. Um, no distractions within camp or family or anything like that. I believe when you go into a fight, you need to know that you're 100% switched on here, and you need to be fully focused on what the job is ahead.
So let's talk about your training camp. Yeah, I know your agent is Lee Easton, I believe, and your trainer is I don't know who you're trained by.
Pete Taylor,
Okay, shout out to Pete.
Katie Taylor's dad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so Pete Taylor's my trainer, and Pete's known me for a long time as an amateur fighter before I turned professional. And now he's coaching me as a professional, so he knows all my best attributes to the sport, and we work very well together.
Well, I mean, of course, I mean, you worked very well because in 2015 you won the bronze medal for the year in the European Games. So he knew exactly
Yeah.
what your attributes are and what you bring to the professional level as well.
Yeah, of course, and he's just tweaked this amateur style into a good professional style, and I believe now I'm at the peak of my career.
You know, this is going to be a lot of people have said the undercard may steal the main event because a lot of people think the main event's going to be one-sided. But when they talk about an undefeated Arnold Barboza and you being 19-1, 5 knockouts, I mean, you guys could possibly steal the show because I don't see anybody moving around. I see you guys sitting there banging and just, getting each other's respect.
Yeah, I believe the same. I believe myself and Arnold will steal a show. We both have great output in terms of punches. We throw a lot of punches per round. Um, we have our knockout ratio isn't great, but we do have a lot of action, all action fights. Because of the output of the punches and the boxing IQ that we both bring to the ring. I do believe it will be the fight of the night.
This is a great matchup, and kudos to the matchmaker who put this fight together. Once I heard about it, I started doing my research, and Arnold's been waiting a long time. He finally did get a title opportunity with Regis Prograis, but I believe it was only 3 weeks notice, and because of the weight cut, because of the numbers and what have you, those are a lot of things that didn't connect. And you yourself, this is a great opportunity. New York, you're right there, pay-per-view. You get to show the whole world, not just Ireland, but the whole world, exactly who Sean McComb is.
Yeah, exactly. This is a global platform, and I believe if this doesn't motivate me, nothing in this world will. This is what I've put my whole life into, to be on this global stage and to perform globally to show what I can bring to the ring.
Well, you know what? We're going to be waiting to see exactly what you bring. My man, what time is it over there where you're at in Ireland?
Right now it is 9:22
In the morning, evening, or?
p.m.
Oh, okay, okay.
evening.
Oh, wow. Well,
Yeah,
okay. Uh, hey, I appreciate you taking the time. I mean, because I know you sleep and then you train and everything. So, we'll got a couple
it's
more
all good.
questions, and then I'm going to move you right along because I don't want to be the one who
It's
kept
all
you up
good.
late.
It's all good. It's all good.
So, talk to us about your training camp, your sparring that you got in. How's it looking for you right now? I mean, it's right around the corner. How's the weight? Let us know exactly.
Right now, I'm in a really really good place. I finished my last sparring yesterday. No more sparring now. It's just I've had great sparring throughout my camp. We've got some guys in to almost box like Arnold, um, who bring the same type of style as Arnold, and we've worked on our tactics great. So I'm ready. My weight is amazing. My psychologically, I'm good. Mentally, I'm strong, and physically, I feel on top of the world. So this is going to be the best version of Sean McComb.
Sean, I mean, when people hear Sean McComb and they hear Conor McGregor, Ireland, and you know, Conor McGregor is now a household name. You have the opportunity of becoming that. And I don't want to say following the footsteps because you got your own journey, but I mean, it's good that,
Yeah,
McGregor was able to put Ireland on the map. It's always been on the map, especially when it comes to soccer. But you're talking about your own identity and your own, possibly Hall of Famer. You want to be great. You want to be a division world champion, and that's why you get involved in the sport. And once again, not to put pressure on you, but this is a great opportunity for you and your team.
of course, this can be my legacy, and this is something, as I said, I've boxed when I was 8 years old, and I've put my entire life into boxing. I've sacrificed education for boxing. I've sacrificed family time for boxing. I've sacrificed relationships for boxing. And here I am now. And as I said, I'm on the global stage. And it's time to just go in, smile, enjoy it, and just do what I've always done and box and be good at it.
I just a little while ago mentioned the name Conor McGregor. Just exactly how big is he in Ireland?
He's massive. He's massive worldwide. He's a movie star. He's a leading whiskey producer. He's a he's the highest paid movie debutant. He's the highest paid UFC fighter ever. He's a global businessman. He's massive. He's absolutely massive. The whole world knows who he is.
Would you share the ring with him?
I would, of course, I would. If I shared a ring with Conor McGregor, my family would be set for life. I wouldn't work again.
Exactly right. Exactly right. I just had to ask, because that name does pop up, and Mr. McComb is also going to pop up too. The name. You got a great opportunity, great team, a great amateur background. Now let's talk about the main event just a little bit. We got Ryan Garcia taking on Devin Haney. What do you think about the matchup? What do you think about Ryan Garcia's so-called distractions? And what do you think about Devin Haney's father, who went vocal against Ryan's team? Is it just drama? Is it just build up? Or, is it true? What do you see and what do you feel? Because you've been at the press conferences.
I feel it's real because there is history. They fought. They fought in the amateurs. I do believe there's mutual respect there somewhere. There has to be. I just believe that they both believe they're going to win, which is perfectly normal and respectable on both for both guys. And I think that it's real beef until the final bell goes, and then they will shake hands, give each other a hug, and may the best man win.
And they'll smile all the way to the bank.
Exactly.
What does Ryan Garcia need to do to be successful in that fight?
Do you know what? I believe Devin Haney has a better skill set, and he has a better boxing IQ. And I do believe Ryan Garcia has a stronger, obviously more power and a stronger punch, and more explosive with his punches. So I believe Ryan needs to set him up, make him think, make him guess when the big punches are going to come, and disguise them with a feint, and then let the big punch go. I think Devin Haney will be afraid of the power.
So what does Devin Haney need to do to be successful?
He needs to be active with the jab, head and body. Don't take risks. Throw single shots. Keep it simple. Just keep it simple. And don't let Ryan Garcia get close to him.
You know, I was there at the Regis Prograis Devin Haney fight, and Regis is a personal friend of mine. And but Devin Haney, you know, he's a professional. He's been courteous as well. I've never seen him fight the perfect fight. That was the perfect fight. It was in the middle of the ring. He stood off the ropes. He showed ring generalship, lateral movement, speed, agility, willing to mix it up. Is it true, as they say, once you become a champion, you become at least 20 to 25% better?
Yeah, but that comes with confidence and knowing you're the champ. When you know you're the champ and you know you can perform under those big lights as the main headline, and people are there to watch you, you know you're the champ, then your confidence you raise the bar by like 20-25%, and then you just go into a flow state. Once you're under those lights, you go into a flow state where you can just control everything.
You know, talk about raising the bar. Let's talk about Oscar De La Hoya's Golden Boy Promotions. I mean, he has back-to-back, he has a big fight next weekend with you and Arnold Barboza on the co-main event. Then he got the main event, Devin Haney taking on Ryan Garcia. And then the week after, you have in the main event in Fresno, California, you have Jose Ramirez, former unified champion. On the undercard, we got the undefeated Phenom, who now moved up to 154 pounds, junior middleweight, Victor Ortiz. I'm sorry. Virgil Ortiz.
Virgil.
Shout out to Victor. How you doing, Victor, from Wildcard Gym? So we're talking about Wildcard. Give Freddie Roach a shout out with a Wildcard shirt and hat. Hello, Marie. Hello, Freddie. Yeah, let me check that. Virgil Ortiz, the undefeated Phenom. And Golden Boy Promotions, along with DAZN, there's going to be a lot of eyes, not only on you, but also the fight afterwards, who's it's also promoted by Fresno's own Rick Murrigan, who always puts on a great show, is a great promoter in our Valley area and worldwide as well. So knowing that you're on the big stage, once again, has it changed your training? Has it changed your mindset? And will it change once that bell rings?
No, I don't believe so, because I think my work is a lifetime of work. I've done it this many times on different stages, different platforms, both amateur and professionally. I believe once I get in the zone, I'm in the zone. I could be in a phone box, or I could be in a massive arena. It means little to no odds to me. I just have to go in there, focus on my game plan, do what I gotta do, get in and get out.
How much of an advantage do you have with your height and being in the southpaw stance?
Well, depending on the tactics. Obviously, Arnold Barboza Jr. is going to have tactics to try and get close to me, maybe. Because I'm tall and I've got that range and I've got that speed. And I also have my tactics to keep him as far away from me as possible. So I believe at this level that there is the ability is both great, but I also think that he who has the right tactics wins.
I agree with you on that. Whoever's able to neutralize another person's offense and display their offense by setting traps. And you know the boxing game. I'm preaching to the choir here. How has the energy been at the press conference? How has Golden Boy Promotions treated you?
Well, you know what? I haven't been over yet. I've just because the fight was only announced 3 weeks
Yes.
ago, so I just signed the contracts like 2 weeks ago, and I've just been watching from Ireland, watching and it's been all ran. I seen Arnold in the press conference saying that he is willing to step in if any of the main events fall through for whatever reason. Obviously, there was a lot of talk going around that potentially Ryan Garcia won't fight because of his distractions, and I think Arnold Barboza was trying to indicate to the public and to the press that he is willing to step in if anything happens, which is fair enough on his side. But he's got a fight with Sean MACOMB, and I just hope he doesn't take his eyes off what he's in for.
I like that. I like that confidence, and I like that direct message. You know, I spoke to Arnold yesterday, and I said, "Hey, do you have any questions or any comments, for your opponent?" He said, "No." He goes, "Let him do his thing." And I could tell he was focused, and he didn't want to disrespect by saying anything or coming on the show or ambushing with a phone call, because that's not the way I get down here on the Fighter's Voice. I keep it fair, I keep it 100. He's looking in the camera right now. Do you have a message for Arnold Barboza?
It's the same message in return. Do your thing, and may the best man win. We're two good fighters. We're two great fighters. We've put our livelihood on the line. Let's get it on, and may the best man win.
Class act, man. I got to ask you a question. Is this a myth? Because I know Ireland's Irish can fight, but I heard you guys can drink. Is that a myth, or can you guys really drink?
No, that's the truth. That's not a myth. We can drink. We can drink. It's instilled in our blood, and that's it.
You know what? I was watching a shout out to I believe it's called Warrior, and it was
Warrior?
they had the Chinese back in the day in San Francisco, in gangs, and then you had a couple Irish gangs. And the guy, the main Irish guy, I forget his name, but man, he was a badass. I mean, this guy can fight, he can drink, he was a businessman. He was like a, modern day Conor McGregor, man. And I've always heard Irish can get down. They can play soccer, they can kick ass, and they can drink.
Yeah, we're multi-talented. If that's what you want to call it, we're multi-talented.
Well, we respect that. I do. As a human being, I respect that. I respect every culture out there. I respect every human being, especially any human being that gets inside of the ring for combat. Because when it's all said and done, like you said, they shake hands and, live another day and, hopefully cash a good paycheck, because you guys put your life on the line. You really do. This isn't, I get to call timeout or go over this play. No, it's you and your opponent.
Yeah, it's all on the line. Everything's on the line every time we step into the ring. That's why I don't trash talk. I don't talk shit. I give respect to every fighter that steps into the ring, and very often on this side of the world, I don't know what it's like in California or what it's like in the States, but a lot of people always ask me, what do you think about Jake Paul fighting Mike Tyson? What that's very disrespectful to boxing. I say it's not, because you have to give the guy respect. He's getting into the ring and he's fighting. He's also putting a lot on the line. Although he didn't come up as a boxer and he had a YouTube background and not a boxing background, he's still fighting. He's still taking punches. He's still taking blows to the head. And you got to respect that. And he's making millions by doing that. So for me, I have to respect every fighter that steps in inside that ring.
Wow. I'm taken back by that, because that has to be the most powerful comment that I have heard since Jake Paul started fighting. And you kept it 100. A lot of people kept it one-sided. You went to the other side and you broke it down. Regardless of what you want to call it, he's in there taking punishment, giving punishment, making the weight, sacrificing. Whether he came up as a fighter or a YouTuber. Very well said.
Yes, 100%. 100%.
Now, who is the face of boxing, in your opinion?
The face of
The face
boxing,
of boxing, yes.
I believe Canelo.
Okay. He has a big.
Canelo.
Okay, go ahead.
Canelo globally. Globally, Canelo is he's the face of boxing. And do you know why? I really believe because he has those losses on his record. He's come back. He's still making massive fights. He doesn't avoid any opponents. There's no shit talk with him. He's just straight in. If there's a fight rumored, he takes it. He signs the contract. He fights. He loses. Let's talk. He lost to Mayweather. Okay, he lost to Beeville. He's lost fights, and he's still the face of boxing. He's still making the most money, and he's still a global superstar, which is amazing for boxing because it goes to show that you don't need to carry this unbeaten record like Floyd. That's very, very rarely going to happen. So it just goes to show that take the fights, take these fights. If you lose, doesn't matter. You can still get the opportunity to take another big fight and still be a global superstar and win. You know, so it's for me. I believe Canelo's the big name of boxing, and he's the face of it.
Very well said. Once again, how big is he in Ireland? Do people talk about him? They know who he is, or you just got to be in the boxing world?
Everybody knows who he is. Everybody knows who he is. It's such a small island. Ireland is so small that there's a boxing gym. Now Belfast would be smaller than but like in Belfast there's only 1 million people in the city of Belfast. If even, okay? And there is in around 40 boxing gyms in such a small area. So everybody knows boxing. Everybody knows boxing. It's crazy.
I'm gonna have to message Team Canelo and tell him, bro, Ireland's showing you some love. He needs to get down there and possibly fight or do a tour or something.
Yeah, do something. Get yourself to Ireland. I mean, drink some Guinness and drink some whiskey, some Irish whiskey and Guinness.
Well, you know, Mexicanos like to drink tequila, but the Irish, they love that whiskey, yeah?
Oh, you can't go bad with a whiskey.
Okay. I'm going to remember that. What's your favorite whiskey when you're not training and just relaxing?
A Jameson. Jameson, Irish whiskey.
Okay, Jameson, Irish whiskey. You need to come through as a sponsor for my man, Sean McComb here. We'll put you on the shorts. We'll put you on the back. But we gave you a plug-in. I'm going to tag you. I'm going to put it on Instagram. I'm going to put it on YouTube. We got to take care of my man right here, Sean McComb. Sponsored by Irish whiskey. Jameson, my man.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
There we go. There we go. Hey, if we're going to mention that, they need to do something about it. I'm going to tag them. You think I'm not? I'm going to tag them, and I'm going to tag you in this interview as well, my man.
100%.
As we're getting closer to let you go to get some sleep, can you tell us what's going to be your walkout song for next Saturday?
Do you know what? I haven't thought about it. I haven't even considered it. I'll be honest, I've been so focused on my task ahead, my job ahead. I haven't actually had time to sit down and think, what do I want? I think I want an Irish song. I'm not sure yet, but when I'm on the flight, I fly out on Sunday. When I'm on the flight, I think I'll have a listen and I think of what I'm gonna maybe select for a walkout song. But as of right now, I have no idea. I'm just so focused on the boxing.
You are focused on your task ahead. Usually fighters, they'll stop and say, well, I have this song and, you know, this is what I'm wearing and I'm going to do this and so forth. But yeah, I respect the fact that you don't know what song it is because that's not on your radar right now. All that's on your radar is the undefeated Arnold Barboza.
Exactly it. That's it. Just fully focused on the task ahead.
You know, growing up, as we all did, you watched Oscar De La Hoya. What did you think about him as a fighter coming up?
Unbelievable. He was a fighter we all watched, obviously coming through the Olympic Games as an amateur, and he's done it. He's reached the pinnacle of the sport in every dimension. As an amateur and as a professional, he's done it right across the board, and nothing but respect for the man. He was a pleasure to watch, and he still is. When you watch back on all his fights, it was all action, and he was a pleasure to watch.
Yeah, I mean, in his when he came up, he never ducked anybody, and he forever changed the sport of boxing because before he started fighting, there wasn't too much women at the fights. When he started fighting, women just started flocking in like crazy.
Yeah, that's because he's a good looking guy.
Yeah.
I wish I had the same problem.
Hey, you win those big fights, they're gonna be coming at you. Like what did Conor McGregor say? He said it's red panty week. It's gonna be red panty week
Red
for
panties.
Sean McComb.
Get the red panties in. Get the red panties in.
There you go. There you go, man. I'm also going to tag McGregor because we talked about him, and hopefully he responds, and we'll take it from there. I wish you well next Saturday. You're walking in and doing what you got to do. Is there anybody out there that you want to give a shout out to that you want to say hello to? Any sponsor or any loved one or anybody?
Shout out to my family. My family they always back me. And it's my dad's 60th birthday today as well. So he's flying to New York for the first time. And big shout out to him for his 60th birthday.
Happy birthday to your dad.
Today. He's 60 years old and he's still trucking. And he's got 5 kids and he's looking after us all well. So happy birthday, Dad.
There you go. On that note, we're just going to leave it at that. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you order your pay-per-views. Contact DAZN if you haven't already subscribed. Golden Boy Promotions, Oscar De La Hoya in the main event with Devin Haney versus Ryan Garcia. And on the co-main event, who's been banked and betted on to take over the whole entire show. A lot of people said this is a great matchup. You got the undefeated Arnold Barboza taking on the 19-1 Sean McComb, all the way from Ireland, ladies and gentlemen. So he's making the trip to New York and he's ready to take care of business. Remember, subscribe to DAZN. And what's the whiskey that we got to drink again? What's that sponsor that we want to get on the shorts and on our shirt? Jameson Whiskey. You've heard it. Reach out to the Fighter's Voice or Sean McComb. Let's make that sponsorship. Let's make that happen. And he'll drink it gladly after being victorious. Hey, I'm your host, Richard Ortiz of the Fighter's Voice, the only voice that matters. And I'm like our guest today. We're simply knocking out the competition. As always, it's a wrap. Thumbs up for Richie.
Okay, fight fans, it's not goodbye, but until next week. Remember, it's always voiceography at its finest. So on behalf of Richard Ortiz, the special guests, and all the crew, saying hasta luego, babies. And always, thanks for listening.